Alright, Vinegar Strokes, we are here for another exciting wrap-up preview video. And this week is a very special one indeed. You can tell by the fact that I'm wearing my nice white t-shirt. We're going to be introducing a new segment called Garner Responds to Your Facebook Posts. We start off with a nice post from Christopher Michael from Delaware. He states, "Who drafted RG3? That guy really knows his stuff." Well, I just looking into that, and I don't know that I can agree that he does know his stuff, because that same person drafted Santonio Holmes and Ryan Williams and Marshawn Lynch in the third round. Definitely the watermarks for someone that knows exactly what he's doing. Mark Jawan from Westchester, Pennsylvania says, "Yarny should talk shit about Des Bryant in his video every week." I have to apologize to everyone. I thought I was talking shit about Des Bryant every week. I'll make sure it keeps going on. Brian Hoofy states, "I would like to point out that the first pick in the league was my first pick. Just saying." Well, that's wonderful, Brian. You had the second pick and picked one of the two people that were the first or second pick in every single league in the country. Strong move, and it's definitely worth shouting out. Mark Juan from Westchester, Pennsylvania states, "I keep seeing highlights of Sean Green and Demarius Moore having great days, so I'm thinking, shit, Yarny must be killing it. Too bad he left both of those guys on his bench." Well, keeping Sean Green on the bench was not really that tough of a decision. He's been pretty terrible all year, and his one good week doesn't make up for that. Demarius Moore has had a much better season, has been pretty consistent, but is still the third or fourth wide receiver on my depth chart in every given week. So you know what? They had a big week. They were on my bench, and guess what? It's where they're going to belong, other than bye-week replacements, which we're really having for. Finally, Eric Lucas says, "Why are you so good, Peyton Manning?" This is a great question, and I think that we can all agree that his talent comes from his awesome bloodlines of Archie Manning. Archie Manning has now produced two top quarterbacks with 3 Super Bowls between them. And the real question is, why isn't Archie out there doing a studying service? You know, some nice well-to-do women go out, pay a few bucks, go ahead and get a shot of Archie Manning man juice, and get themselves an NFL quarterback in 21 to 23 years. I think it's a strong move and a great investment, and I know that I would recommend it to any of my female friends. With that said, we'll move into the normal meat of this video, which will be relatively short. I lost this week to Mikey T, who had Aaron Rodgers going fucking ape shit. 51 points, absolutely earning that top draft pick and showing what he can do. 6 touchdowns, a little bit excessive, but you know what? He's doing big stuff. Unfortunately, Michael has Roddy White on a bye week this week, as he goes into what has to clearly be the matchup of the week as he plays Michael. The bad news is Michael has Richardson playing against Indianapolis defense, who is terrible, and he'll probably get a ton of points. The good news is he also has Mendenhall playing against any defense more difficult than the Girl Scouts. Mendenhall at this point has 20 points for the entire season. Not looking too strong. Michael beat Kirch. Kirch is now playing for the distinction of not in last place, which it'll be a strong fight, especially this week with Macklin on a bye. And Kirch, no defense once again. You've got to play a defense. I know you really want to give up a draft pick next year, but try your hardest not to. Kirch will be playing Eric Lucas, who is starting to come together a bit himself. Michael Vick is actually starting to put up some decent points as a fantasy quarterback, so of course he's on bye this week, which makes that a little bit easier. The close loss to Smith last week really came down to quarterbacks. Luckily Smith has Peyton Manning, who put up a big week and apparently is who we thought he was, as mentioned earlier. Of course, not good would be the fact that Peyton is on bye week also as he goes into play against Maria. Maria's got to feel good. Tom Brady's putting the season together. He's getting some points out. And she's also got the return of Hakeem Nicks, which definitely would have helped last week as she lost to Becker. We're going to keep talking about bye weeks because there's a lot of them that are of note this week. And Becker is particularly butthurt on that. He's got Julio Jones, Dwayne Bowe, and Matty Ice all out this week, and he's got some fairly lackluster substitutes, which probably leads to why in his match against Mark once again has all but one check mark in the projections, which means that, of course, Mark will get his ass hurt. Pretty much how that seems to be playing out every week. I I said last week, it was the same way, in which Mark had all the check marks except for the one, but he still lost to Brian, who played behind his 3 Giants that all had big weeks. Antonio Gates had a huge week for Brian on his bench, which means that Brian will most likely put him into his starting lineup despite his bye week. I just know that you've really been waiting for that, for Antonio Gates to do his thing, so I'm glad to see that he has. Well, that's all I've got, guys. Try to fight nice, and I'll talk to you Turd Nuggets later. Peace.